You want growth. Not cute motivation, not Instagram quotes, not soft inspiration. You want something that shakes bones. Good. Listen carefully because what I'm about to tell you is not for the comfortable. It's for the ones who feel something inside them pacing like a caged beast. Here's the wild idea. What if the version of you that wins already exists? Not in fantasy, not in some manifested daydream, but as a real, breathing, fully formed version of you. In the future, looking back at who you are right now and judging you. What if right now, the strongest version of you is watching you hesitate, watching you scroll, watching you overthink, watching you play small to stay liked? What if every excuse you make echoes forward and disappoints the monster you're supposed to become? That's not poetry, that's possibility. Because everything you are is just repeated behavior. Change the behavior, you change the identity. And identity is power. Here's the unfiltered truth. You are not tired, you are undertrained. You are not unlucky, you are undisciplined. You are not stuck, you are addicted to comfort. And comfort is killing you, slowly. Not dramatically, not violently, quietly. Comfort is the soft pillow suffocating your potential while you thank it for protection. You say you want greatness, but greatness requires isolation. It requires mornings where you wake up before the sun and it feels like the world belongs to you. It requires nights where you sit alone, working, while everyone else is celebrating mediocrity. It requires saying no when your emotions scream yes. It requires walking away when your ego wants to argue. It requires building in silence when your pride wants applause. Here's the plot twist. The pain you're running from is the doorway. The rejection? Doorway. The failure? Doorway. The heartbreak? Doorway. The embarrassment? Doorway. You think you're being attacked. You're being forged. Steel doesn't complain about the fire. It becomes stronger because of it. You keep asking life for signs. Here's your sign. You survived everything that tried to bury you. Read that again in your mind. You survived. Which means you are not fragile. You are unfinished. There is a difference. Fragile breaks. Unfinished builds. Now let me get darker. Most people die at 25. They just get buried at 75. Their ambition dies. Their curiosity dies. Their hunger dies. And they live on autopilot. Wake up, complain, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. For decades. That is the real horror story. Not monsters, not ghosts, wasted potential. The most terrifying thing in this world is not failure. It's unused power. You feel restless because you are meant for more. That anxiety? It's untapped aggression. That frustration? It's trapped ambition. That anger? It's energy waiting for direction. But instead of directing it, you numb it. You distract it. You sedate it. You trade long-term dominance for short-term comfort. And then you wonder why you feel empty. You are not depressed. You are misaligned. You are living below your capacity, and your spirit knows it. Let me give you a mindset shift that will rearrange your spine. Stop asking, what do I want? Start asking, who must I become? Because what you want is just a reflection of who you are. You don't attract what you hope for. You attract what you are aligned with. If you are weak, you attract chaos. If you are undisciplined, you attract instability. If you are focused, you attract opportunity. If you are relentless, you attract respect. Life mirrors identity, so upgrade the identity. Here's another insane idea. What if fear is proof you're on the right path? Think about it. You're never afraid of things beneath you. You're afraid of the next level, the bigger stage, the higher responsibility, the greater expectation. Fear isn't telling you to stop. It's telling you you're approaching expansion. But most people retreat at the edge of growth. They feel discomfort and call it danger. They feel uncertainty and call it impossible. They feel resistance and call it a sign to quit. But resistance is proof of transformation. A caterpillar dissolves into liquid before it becomes a butterfly. It literally falls apart. Maybe your life feels like it's falling apart because it's rebuilding into something with wings. Now let's get brutal. Nobody cares about your excuses. Not in a cruel way, in a real way. The world rewards value. It rewards solutions. It rewards consistency. You can be tired and still execute. You can be heartbroken and still train. You can be doubted and still build. Your feelings are valid, but they are not commands. If you let emotions dictate your standards, you will live a chaotic life. Standards must be higher than feelings. I don't feel like it. Too bad. I'm not in the mood. Irrelevant. I'll start tomorrow. Weak. Tomorrow is a myth created by comfort. The only time that exists is now. And now is ruthless. Now demands action. Now exposes hesitation. Now reveals who you really are. You want insane? Here it is. Start living like you're being watched by your future children. Like one day they'll ask, "What did you do when it was hard?" And you will either say, "I complained," or "I built." Imagine telling them you gave up because it was inconvenient. Imagine telling them you stayed small because it was safer. Imagine telling them you knew you had more inside you, but you chose comfort. That should disturb you, because deep down you know you were built for more than survival. You were built for impact, but impact requires intensity. You can't whisper your way into greatness. You have to decide. Decide that average is unacceptable. Decide that discipline is non-negotiable. Decide that your word to yourself means something. Because right now, the biggest betrayal in your life is not what others did to you. It's what you promised yourself and didn't follow through on. You said you'd start. You didn't. You said you'd commit. You hesitated. You said this year would be different. You drifted. That ends now. Right now. This moment. You don't need a new year. You need a new standard. You don't need more information. You need more execution. You don't need motivation. You need identity. Become the type of person who does hard things daily. Become the type of person who finishes. Become the type of person who keeps going after the excitement fades. Because excitement starts journeys, discipline finishes them. One day, you will look back at this version of yourself, and you will either be grateful or embarrassed. There is no middle ground. So here's the final shift. Stop trying to be liked. Start trying to be legendary. Stop trying to avoid pain. Start trying to build power. Stop trying to fit in. Start trying to stand out through excellence. Because the insane truth is this: you are closer to greatness than you think, but you are also 1 year of laziness away from mediocrity. The line is thin, and every day you step one direction. So step with intention, step with aggression, step with clarity, and when it gets heavy, smile, because heavy means growth. Heavy means expansion. Heavy means you're lifting more than you used to, and if it doesn't challenge you, it will not change you. Now breathe. Feel that fire in your chest. That's not anger, that's awakening. Feed it, control it, channel it, and become the version of yourself that would make your current self nervous. That's the goal. Not comfort, not applause. Evolution. And evolution is ruthless. So be ruthless with your standards. The world will adjust, or it will watch. Either way, you rise.
Follow this page for more.